What's up, everybody? Welcome to a brand new episode of the Beta Report and the first of 2023. Look, trust me, we're gonna have some good production this year. Like, that is something I've been trying to put on the show, on trying to get something moving. It's getting really good production. I'll tell you guys more about that later. But guys, welcome back to the Beta Report. Look, let me introduce myself. I am Jeff, AKA the Kon. That's right. We've been going through a lot of things. I know we haven't posted in quite a while, actually, maybe a whole year. A lot of things have been going on. Jay's been trying to get he got his master's. Way to go, Jay. And other things have been going on. Uno's been around too, but you know, it's been difficult. We have even had loss of loved ones, so it's been pretty difficult. But I did, like, it pained me. It hurt me not to be able to talk about what I love, and that is movies and TV and just stuff like that. I just love that. Like, my mom used to tell me when I was little that I would like have the channels like memorized. Like, before I would speak, I knew the channels. I mean, technically weren't words, they were letters, but you know what I'm saying. It's like, ever since I was little, I've always loved TV. My mom said I didn't even need the TV guide. And yes, back then, everything was in print. If you wanted to know what channel or what show was on at what time, we would flip through the little TV guide. But mom said I used to know just where everything was at what time. I don't know if that's good or not, but hey, like, that's how I'm just trying to say how much I love TV and movies ever since I was little. And honestly, because of everything that was going on and just how difficult it was to try to get back in doing the podcast, even thoughts of maybe quitting the podcast came through. But you know what? Like, my dream, one of the things I want to do is one day I want to go to a big Hollywood premiere, red carpet. And I've never done that before. And I'm hoping that maybe someday I'll get to do it. But in the meantime, I'm just going to do this little podcast. I'm going to tell you what I think about, you know, the things that I love, you know, movies and TV. And look, I promise you one thing. I'm going to be super honest with you guys, 100%, just being myself. I'm not going to pretend like I read every comic book on a comic book hero. I'll tell you, I just read about it or I know a little bit about it, but I'm not going to pretend I'm like this big comic book nerd. I mean, I'm a nerd, but maybe not to the point where I know every comic book. I don't. But I'm going to be honest. I'm going to give you my honest review. I'm going to tell you what I really think. Look, if I'm not embarrassed to tell you that my favorite movie is Fools Rush In, yes, I'm pointing the wrong way. I love this movie. I'm still pointing the wrong way. There we go. I love this movie. It's not even good, but to me, it's great. I love this movie, and I'm not embarrassed to tell you. That's how honest I'm going to tell you. I'm going to be with you. I'm going to tell you what I really think about these things. I'm going to tell you what I love, and if it makes me look dumb, oh well. It is what it is. But I'm going to tell you why I like it and why I mean, Fools Rush In, I don't just like it because, you know, Salma Hayek, okay? No, seriously. I like it because it's so awesome. It's just very funny. It's just a movie that I really love, and it's dear to my heart. So what I'm trying to say is I'm going to be honest, and I'm going to tell you exactly what I think about the movies, TV, about myself, and I'm hoping that you guys will just join me on this journey, and I hope you guys are entertained. So since we missed all of 2022, I'm just going to go ahead and tell you guys what I thought was the best movies of 2022 and the best in TV. Now, it's not in any order, okay? It's not like what's the number one or something. These are just movies that I think were just so great. And obviously, I'm not putting in there movies that I thought were awesome, like Doctor Strange and Multiverse of Madness. I thought it was great. Also, Black Panther 2 was great. But these are just movies that I thought were kind of standouts, a little bit different. So why don't we get started with the movies? Huh? Let's go ahead and do that. First one on my list is The Batman. Guys, The Batman was so awesome. Look, I know DC right now is just kind of crazy with all the stuff that's going on with now James Gunn and Peter Safran taking over DC. That's a whole story in itself. Look, I promise you, I'm going to go ahead and talk a little bit about, James Gunn taking over and how people are nervous about it. Honestly, you got nothing to be nervous about. But in the meantime, with all this is going on, we got one of the best DC movies in a long time with The Batman. This is directed by Matt Reeves, who directed all the Planet of the Apes movies, the last one being War of the Planet of the Apes. And if you haven't seen this movie, guys, you gotta check this out. It's awesome. It's so sad that we can't have Andy Serkis winning a Best Actor award, because yes, that's Andy Serkis playing Caesar, and he just does a tremendous job. But that's a great movie. But back to Batman. Look, Matt Reeves, who directed Batman, did a wonderful job with this movie. The movie is just like the ambiance of this movie, the Riddler being based on an actual serial killer and the Zodiac killer. That movie, I mean, that little thing that he did with the Riddler, actually making him like really scary. I mean, this movie was great, man. It was really awesome. I wasn't crazy about emo Bruce Wayne, but I think Robert Pattinson as Batman was actually really good. I really enjoyed it. So this, if you haven't seen it, it's on HBO Max. It's great. I recommend that you actually go and watch this movie. The next on the list, what I have in there, Top Gun Maverick, guys. Top Gun Maverick. It's rare when a movie and its sequel, a sequel to movie, is actually better than the original. I don't know if that's a hot take, but I think Top Gun Maverick is actually better than the original. I enjoyed this movie. It was so good. Dude, Tom Cruise, I don't know, man. I hope it doesn't, but this guy is willing to risk his life to make a movie. He was actually flying those jets, dude. Come on. That's insane. But this movie is so good. It's so good. If you haven't seen it, you got to. I mean, who hasn't? This movie made like $1 jillion at the movie theater. So check it out. I loved it. It's one of the best of 2022. I really enjoyed it. Now I gotta remember what other movie. Oh, guys. Now this movie is totally different. It's not your typical movie. But guys, when I saw this movie, it blew me away. Now, what movie I'm talking about? I'm talking about RRR. And honestly, guys, it wasn't until today or tonight, as I'm recording this podcast, I had no idea what RR stand for. And until tonight, I actually finally found out when my production team put up this poster, is when I realized, oh, it stands for Rise, Roar, and Revolt. I had no idea. All right, look, this movie has a lot of things going against it. First of all, it's the language, the culture, the title, who calls the movie RRR. It's 3 hours long. Yeah. 3 hours long. All right. But despite all that, if you're willing to put some of those things aside, the story of this movie is amazing. It's so good. The two guys that you see on the, I'm gonna learn how to point the right way, guys, for sure. I promise. The two guys that you see on that poster, these two guys have probably one of the best bromances in movies. They're amazing, dude. It's so good. The story is so well. The movie's shot beautifully. It's just so good, man. I mean, they have a scene that rivals a scene from like the Avengers Endgame. I'm not even kidding. It's not hyperbole. It's shot so well. It's so good. I highly recommend you watch this movie. Now, the movie's based on two actual historical figures, but obviously they're taking some artistic license on putting him in this movie. But it's really good, guys. I highly recommend it. There's no other way but for you guys to actually watch it. I promise you guys will enjoy it, guys. So the other movie I have on my list is the movie Prey. And no, not pray like getting on your knees and pray. No, Prey as in it is a movie within the Predator franchise. Now, with that title, you wouldn't know that it's part of the Predator franchise. Even when you look at the poster, you wouldn't know it's part of the Predator franchise. But it is. And although the the Predator franchise. I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh, the fact that this movie Prey actually kind of brought back the Predator franchise and bringing it into its glory days. Like, although the Predator gave us like one of the most iconic moments in 80s filmography, I should say, right, is Arnold's muscles. All right, that's the wrong picture, though. That's the wrong one. That's the wrong. That's not the one. Oh, there you go. Yes, there it is. The famous handshake with Carl Weathers. That hit, dude. That handshake is just amazing. Dylan, you son of a, yeah, that's the one. It's awesome. It's amazing. So actually, what it does is it brings back putting the Predator monster, or whatever you want to call it, the alien, into the center of the movie. It's like it's a centerpiece. It's the main driving force in the movie, and it's so good. It really is, and it got some attention. I don't think it got enough. You can find it on Hulu, and it's just amazing to watch. So I highly recommend you watch that movie. And then, last but not least, guys, Barbarian. Dude, this movie is just insane. It's not what you think it is. Even the title of itself, it doesn't even make sense when you actually watch the movie. There's some discussion as to why it's called Barbarian, but the movie itself is so well done, has so many like different twists in it. It's just insane, guys. I highly recommend it. It's really good. It's done really well. I think the budget was really low, but it actually did way above what the movie was budgeted to do. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I'm not sure. Jason Blum, the Blumhouse might have something to do with this. I mean, it's crazy how a production company is just concentrates on a certain genre and just take off with it. So it's done so well. I highly recommend you guys watch it. You guys will enjoy it. For honorable mention, I'm gonna throw out there, if you guys go watch Avatar: Way of Water, the only reason why I'm putting that out there is because the fact that James Cameron could put a movie out there that can make another $2 billion again, it's like insane. But it's really good. It's done really well. The story is really good. It is 3 hours, but I'll be honest with you, I didn't even feel those 3 hours. It just went by so quick and so fast. It just was easy to just kind of watch, and you don't get tired of the movie going on. So it's actually really good. So that's a movie I recommend. It came out towards the end of December, or 2022, I should say, and it's already making like a gazillion dollars too as well. So anyways, let's move on to television or TV, right? A series, not a full motion picture. And I got to start off with Moon Knight. Guys, Moon Knight is so great. They did such a good job with Moon Knight, the character, the lore behind the character. But the standout in this is Oscar Isaac, guys. Oscar Isaac. First of all, so proud because he's part Guatemalan, and we're Chapinas, as they call Guatemalans. We're from Guatemala as well. And we're so like, it's so like, I was gonna say not prideful, but so, it's so awesome that we have somebody from Guatemala who's like such a great actor. Like Oscar Isaac is amazing. Like he did really, really good in this. The story, not just that, but the fact that he's playing a person who's got split personality or dissociative disorder, I believe is the correct term for that. So he plays like different characters. It's just so great. It's so well. It's on Disney Plus. Check it out. It's different than most of what Marvel has done, but I highly recommend you go ahead and watch this movie. This TV show. The next one is Stranger Things. Not Stranger Things. White Lotus. Go back to White Lotus. There you go. White Lotus on HBO. Guys, I was not interested in this at all. Like, I really wasn't. But I had a few people tell me, you got to watch it. Check it out. I saw season 1 and it was so good. so good. Season 2 is okay as well, but it was not as good as season 1. But season 2 is worth watching as well. But White Lotus, it's an anthology show, so like I guess every season is gonna be focused on different people who are at this particular resort or hotel, and the stories, how everybody has like these different things or different arcs going on. It's just so good. It's hard to explain what kind of show it is, but like I said, it's the best way to explain it is it's an anthology show. In fact, the White Lotus won the Golden Globe for best series or best limited series or movie, or I forgot what the award is, but that's the award it won. Jennifer Coolidge also won for best supporting actress. I mean, the show is awesome. It's so good. So I would highly recommend it. It's on HBO Max. I highly recommend you go watch that show. And the next, well, what was the next one? What was I putting on there? Thank you. Telling you. High-end production team. They're so good. You guys are doing a good job. All right, hey, Stranger Things season 4, guys. This season was so good. Not only did they give us a new villain that was like actually, I mean, he was frightening. Vecna was like, the whole season brought us back into like like kind of like the 80s horror. I mean, it is based in the 80s, but the that era of horror genre, it was done so well. Like Vecna was great. They brought back Matthew Modine as the scientist, that doctor that's working with, I forgot his name, but he's working with 11, and then we have Paul Reiser coming back as well. I mean, it was done so well with all these characters. There's a couple things that didn't work as well, like maybe some of the Russia stuff, but everything else was just so great. But I cannot talk Stranger Things without talking the MVP of season 4 is this guy right here, Eddie Munson, guys. This is the reason why you watch season 4. Eddie Munson is probably one of the best characters that Stranger Things has put together. Like, he is worth watching the whole season. I promise you. This is probably one of the best characters ever in the Stranger Things universe. You have to watch it. He is so good in this. So definitely go check it out, dude. I mean, it's on Netflix, obviously. And I think it's going to end with season 5. So check it out. It's really, really good if you haven't. Like, honestly, who hasn't checked it out? I think most people have. So I don't know who I'm talking to. Most of you guys have. But that's what I thought was one of the best of 2022. Next up is House of the Dragon on HBO Max. This is the Game of Thrones prequel that focuses on the Targaryens. Hot take, I thought this season was better than the first season of Game of Thrones. That's just me. I enjoyed it so much. I really liked it. They did really well with the casting of the two main characters you see up here when they were younger, and then now they have, when they get older, it was so great. The time jumps were done really well. Shout out to Matt Smith as Daemon Targaryen. He was so good too, man. It was like, it's just really well done. I really liked it. I thought it was better than season 1 of Game of Thrones. And I think they're talking about doing about 4 seasons of this. So I'm looking really forward to it. Unfortunately, we're not going to get season 2 till like 2024, maybe towards the end of 24. I don't know, but it's going to take a while for us to see it. So highly recommend you go and watch it. If you haven't binged that thing, it's going to be, I'm almost guaranteed you're going to like it. And last but not least, probably one of my favorite shows of 2022, probably my favorite show of all, is Andor. Oh my God, Andor. Honestly, I love Diego Luna. I wish that, aside from Oscar Isaac and Pedro Pascal, which he's gonna, come up. Oh, I just hit the mic. Sorry. Aside from those 3 guys, I wish I could hang out with those 3 guys, honestly. Diego Luna, Pedro Pascal, and Oscar Isaac. And what's funny is that these guys are actual friends. They get along so well. It's just so awesome. But Diego Luna as Cassian Andor is he does such a good job. This show, Andor, I'm telling you guys, it's probably the best Star Wars content that we've had in a long time. I mean, I know we've had The Mandalorian, and that's great, but Andor is so just completely different. It's so good. Now, I'm going to warn you, it is a slow burn. Just take a while to kind of, it lays out the universe, kind of. But when you go from Obi-Wan and then you go to Andor and you see the difference of how much money they put into Andor, the locations, you could tell they really put a lot into it. It's worth watching, guys. If you haven't, and I know there's people that probably haven't watched it because it didn't get as much. It looks like maybe the hardcore Star Wars people watched it. It's like a spy. It's like a spy thriller within the Star Wars universe. It's so good, guys. I'm telling you, that last episode was just blew me away. It's so good. So I highly recommend you guys watch it. So, although that one is my favorite one. The other ones are not in any particular order, but those are the movies and TVs that I watched that I thought were really great in 2022. And like 2023 looks really good with so much stuff. But now we've come to the part of the show where I want to give you my recommendation for the weekend, what you should watch, whether it be a movie or something streaming or something that you could watch somewhere. I mean, this is where we come and I just give you what I think is something you should watch. It's called the Pick of the Week.
Pick of the Week!
That's right, guys.
It's the Pick of the Week, everyone! It's the Pick of the Week! Yeah!
Great. All right. So this is
the Pick of the Week. You know it is. What week is it? What? It's the Pick of the Week. The Pick of the Week.
Okay.
Pick of the Week. Pickety, pickety, wickety. The Pick of the Week.
All right.
Pick of the Week.
All right, guys. I'm gonna give you guys what I really. That's it. That's all you got.
Pick of the Week.
Okay, there you go. It's a Pick of the Week, guys. This is where I'm going to give you guys what I recommend. And guys, I've never been so excited about something like I am with this. I'm like a loss for words, guys. Honestly, this Sunday on HBO Max, we finally get the first episode of The Last of Us. Yes. And I mentioned Pedro Pascal. He plays Joel in this series. Does Joel have a last name? Do we know what is it?
Miller.
Joel Miller. Thank you. Telling you guys, high-end production team. Love it. Excuse me. So, The Last of Us, dude. Okay. So why is this so great? The Last of Us, based on probably for me, my opinion, is that it's probably one of the best video games I've ever played. And for me, like, the reason why I play some video games is for the narrative story, and the narrative story for The Last of Us is probably the best I've ever played. It's like, it's so good. And it's funny because the game itself plays like something cinematic, like a narrative story that you could actually probably see on screen. And so, yes, they put it on TV. The Last of Us has actually been made into a series with, as I mentioned, Pedro Pascal as Joel Miller, which is the main protagonist in this story, and Bella Ramsey. Now, if you don't know who Bella Ramsey is, she probably has one of the best appearances in a Game of Thrones season, and she plays Lady Mormont, and she was amazing in that. And so she plays Ellie, and so far from what I've heard, and from what I've seen and what I've already read about it, right now it stands at a 97% on Rotten Tomatoes. It is, people have seen it, are raving about it. It's so good. I'm so excited to watch it. So it's on Sunday. I don't know what time it's going to be on, but it's this Sunday on HBO Max. That is my recommendation. You got to go watch it. I highly recommend you watch this. So that is all, guys. We've come to the end of this episode. Next week, I'm so excited. I want to talk about the stuff that I'm excited about of coming in 2023. What am I most excited about? I don't know. I saw this up. Hey, dude, that's not what I want to put up there, guys. Come on. So I'm going to be talking about what I'm most excited about 2023, what I want to, what I'm really excited about watching. It's just going to be so great. I have so many plans with this production team that is with me. I'm hoping to do some great things for this year. Maybe some new segments. And, the production team is going to be helping me out. I keep mentioning these guys. Hopefully you guys get to meet them one of these days, but they're doing great work. So anyways, if you want to catch all our older stuff that we've done, all our other podcasts, we are on our website. You can find us at thebetareport.com. You can go on there and check out all our older episodes. We're on all the other social medias as well, like on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter, which we never use. We're on all those sites at The Beta Report. And this episode I'm putting up on YouTube, so check out our YouTube channel. If you just search for The Beta Report, you'll find our channel on there. I'm posting this video up there, so I'm gonna be start putting these on YouTube, so you guys can go and check it out, and hopefully you guys will enjoy it. I'm so happy, guys, that 2023 for us has started, and hopefully we can get some other stuff up there. I'm just so excited. I'm happy for you guys to join us, and hopefully next week we'll be talking about other stuff, and I'm just so excited, guys. So thank you so much for joining us. Make sure you check out the page, and I'm Jeff, the AKA KON. This is the Beta Report. Bye. Hey, what the heck?